listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 52. We're continuing in the book of Exodus. And what we have in chapters 29 and 30, sort of a operations manual for how to run God's holy temple. We've talked about the construction of it, and then the uniforms that the priests will wear. And now we're going to go into the actual operations, the ceremony for how to appoint the priests, operations on how to do offerings each day. And then there's an altar for burning incense, how and when to use the washing bowl and the anointing oil, and how to mix the incense into a sweet-smelling perfume. It seems like the Lord really likes cooked meat and likes things to smell really good. He also likes gold, but we'll leave that to your own interpretation. But I really enjoy the part about the temple tax. Basically, you're not paying that tax for public goods and police and firemen and city streets. Nope. You're just paying the tax because you're alive. I call it the fact that God let you live tax. And in the New Testament, we're looking at the book of Mark. And in chapter 6, we hear the story about John the Baptist and how he was killed by King Herod. But what's interesting is how this backstory came into play. It's because Jesus has become famous. And remember, Jesus keeps telling everyone, don't tell people who I am. Of course, most of the people break that command, but still, the mystery is still out there to some degree. And so people just start filling in the blank. And they think all these different ideas of who Jesus is. Because no one's ever heard of Jesus. Who else could he be except an ancient prophet from the texts? But the thing that gets King Herod is when this rumor goes around that Jesus is actually John the Baptist, who's been resurrected from the dead and is now helping out people. That really freaks out King Herod because he completely destroyed him. And that's where we go into the backstory of how and why John the Baptist was killed. If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started. Exodus 29, the ceremony. And the Lord said,
Now I will tell you what you must do to dedicate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Choose 1 young bull and 2 rams that have nothing wrong with them. Then use fine wheat flour without yeast to make bread. Use the same things to make cakes mixed with olive oil. Also make small thin cakes spread with oil. Put this bread and the cakes in a basket. Then give the basket to Aaron and his sons. At the same time, give them the bull and the 2 rams. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the meeting tent and wash them with water. Put the special clothes on Aaron, the woven long shirt, and the robe that is worn with the ephod. Put the ephod and the judgment pouch on him. Then tie the beautiful cloth belt on him. Put the turban on his head and the holy crown around the turban. Take the anointing oil and pour it on Aaron's head. This will show that he is chosen for this work. Then bring Aaron's sons to that place. Put the long shirts on them, then the cloth belts around their waists, and give them special caps to wear. At that time, they will begin to be priests. They will be priests because of a special law that will continue forever. This is the way you will make Aaron and his sons priests.
Then bring the bull to that place at the front of the meeting tent. Aaron and his sons must put their hands on the bull's head. Then kill the bull there in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the meeting tent. Then take some of the bull's blood and go to the altar. Use your finger to put some blood on the horns of the altar. Pour out all the blood that is left at the bottom of the altar. Then Take all the fat that is on the inner parts of the bull, the fatty part of the liver, and the 2 kidneys with the fat around them. Burn this fat on the altar. Then take the bull's meat, his skin, and his other parts, and go outside your camp and burn them. This bull is an offering to take away the sins of the priests.
Then tell Aaron and his sons to put their hands on the head of one of the rams. Kill that ram and splash the blood against the 4 sides of the altar. Then cut the ram into several pieces. Wash all the parts from inside the ram and the legs. Put these things with the head and the other pieces of the ram. Then burn everything on the altar. This is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a sweet-smelling gift to the Lord. Tell Aaron and his sons to put their hands on the other ram. Kill that ram and save some of its blood. Put that blood on the right earlobes of Aaron and his sons. Also put some of the blood on the thumbs of their right hands and on the big toes of their right feet. Then splash the blood against all 4 sides of the altar. Then take some of the blood from the altar, mix it with the special oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and his clothes, and sprinkle it on his sons and their clothes.
This will show that Aaron and his sons serve me in a special way, and it will show that their clothes are used only at special times.
Then take the fat from the ram. This is the ram that will be used in the ceremony to make Aaron the high priest. Take the fat from around the tail and the fat that covers the organs inside the body. Then take the fat that covers the liver, the 2 kidneys, and the fat on them and the right leg. Then take the basket of bread that you made without yeast. This is the basket you put before the Lord. Take these things out of the basket: 1 loaf of bread, 1 cake made with oil, and 1 small thin cake. Give them to Aaron and his sons. Tell them to lift these things up with their hands before the Lord. Dedicate the things as a special offering. Then take all these things from Aaron and his sons and burn them on the altar on top of the first ram. This offering made by fire is a sweet-smelling gift to the Lord.
Then take the breast from the second ram. This is the ram that will be used in the ceremony to make Aaron the high priest. Hold the breast of the ram before the Lord as a special offering. Then take it back and keep it. This part of the animal will be for you. Take the breast and the leg of the ram that was used to make Aaron the high priest and make these parts holy. Then give these special parts to Aaron and his sons. The Israelites will always give Aaron and his sons these parts. These parts will always belong to the priests when the Israelites make a fellowship offering to the Lord. When they give these parts to the priest, it will be the same as giving them to the Lord.
Save these special clothes that were made for Aaron and his descendants. They will wear these clothes when they are chosen to be priests. Aaron's son will become the next high priest after him. That son will wear these clothes for 7 days when he comes to the meeting tent to serve in the holy place. Cook the meat from the ram that was used to make Aaron the high priest. Cook that meat in a holy place. Then Aaron and his sons must eat the meat at the entrance of the meeting tent. And they must also eat the bread that is in the basket. They must eat these offerings that were used to cleanse them for their appointment and dedication as priests. And because these offerings are holy, no one else may eat them. If any of the meat from that ram or any of the bread is left the next morning, it must be burned. You must not eat that bread or the meat, because it should be eaten only in a special way at a special time.
You must do all these things for Aaron and his sons. You must do them exactly as I told you. The ceremony for appointing them to be priests must continue for 7 days. You must kill 1 bull every day for 7 days. This will be a sin offering for purification. You will use these sacrifices to make the altar pure. Then pour olive oil on the altar to make it holy. You will make the altar pure and holy for 7 days. At that time, the altar will be most holy. Anything that touches the altar will also be holy.
Daily offering. Every day you must make an offering on the altar. You must kill 2 lambs that are 1 year old. Offer 1 lamb in the morning and the other in the evening. When you offer the first lamb, also offer 1 kilogram of fine wheat flour. Mix that flour with 1 liter of the best oil. Also offer 1 liter of wine as an offering. In the evening, offer the second lamb with the same flour and wine offerings as in the morning. This will be a sweet-smelling gift to the Lord. When you burn this offering, he will smell it and it will please him. You must burn these things as an offering to the Lord every day. Do this at the entrance of the meeting tent before the Lord.
Continue to do this for all time. When you make the offering, I will meet you there and speak to you. I will meet with the Israelites at that place, and my glory will make that place holy. So I will make the meeting tent and the altar holy. I will also make Aaron and his sons holy, so that they can serve me as priests. I will live with the Israelites. I will be their God. The people will know that I am the Lord their God. They will know that I am the one who led them out of Egypt, so that I could live with them. I am the Lord their God.
Exodus chapter 30. The altar for burning incense. And the Lord said,
Make an altar from acacia wood. You will use this altar for burning incense. You must make the altar square, 44 centimeters long and 44 centimeters wide. It must be 88 centimeters high. There will be horns at the 4 corners. These horns must be made as one piece with the altar. Cover the top, the horns, and all 4 sides of the altar with pure gold. Then put gold trim all around the altar. Below this trim, there should be 2 gold rings. There should be 2 gold rings on opposite sides of the altar. These gold rings will be used with poles to carry the altar. Make the poles from acacia wood and cover them with gold. Put the altar just outside the curtain that hangs in front of the box of the agreement. So this altar will be in front of the place where I meet with you, the cover over the box of the agreement.
Aaron must burn sweet-smelling incense on the altar every morning. He will do this when he comes to care for the lamps. He must burn incense again when he checks the lamps in the evening, so that incense will be burned before the Lord every day forever. Don't use this altar for offering any other kind of incense or burnt offering, or for any kind of grain offering or drink offering. Once a year, Aaron must purify the altar. He will take blood from the offering for purification and put it on the horns of the altar. This must be done once every year from now on. This altar is most holy, dedicated to the Lord.
The temple tax. The Lord said to Moses,
Count the Israelites so that you will know how many people there are. Every time this is done, each man must make a payment for himself to the Lord, so that nothing terrible will happen to the people.
Each man who is counted must pay 5 grams of silver. That is by the official measure, which is 11 grams. These 5 grams of silver are an offering to the Lord. Every man who is at least 20 years old must be counted, and every man who is counted must give the Lord this offering. The rich must not give more than this, and the poor must not give less. Everyone will make this same offering to the Lord as payment for their lives. Gather this money from the Israelites. Use the money for the service in the meeting tent. This payment will be a way for the Lord to remember his people. They will be paying for their own lives. The The washing bowl. The Lord said to Moses,
Make a bronze bowl and put it on a bronze base. You will use this for washing. Put the bowl between the meeting tent and the altar. Fill the bowl with water. Aaron and his sons must wash their hands and feet with the water from this bowl. Every time they enter the meeting tent, they must wash without water so that they will not die. They must also wash every time they come near the altar to offer their gifts up in smoke to the Lord.
Every time they enter the meeting tent, they must wash without water so that they will not die. They must also wash every time they come near the altar to offer their gifts up in smoke to the Lord. They must wash their hands and their feet so that they will not die. This will be a law that continues forever for Aaron and his people who will live in the future.
The anointing oil. Then the Lord said to Moses,
Find the finest spices. Get 6 kilograms of liquid myrrh, half that amount, that is 3 kilograms, of sweet-smelling cinnamon, and 6 kilograms of sweet-smelling cane, and 6 kilograms of cassia. Use the official measure to measure all these things. Also, get 4 liters of olive oil.
Mix all these things to make a holy, sweet-smelling anointing oil, just as a perfume maker would do it. Pour this oil on the meeting tent and on the box of the agreement. Pour the oil on the table and on all the dishes there. And pour this oil on the lamp and on all of its tools. Pour the oil on the incense altar. Also, pour the oil on the altar for burnt offerings. Pour it on everything on the altar. Pour this oil on the bowl and on the base under the bowl. By doing this, you will make all these things holy. They will be completely holy to the Lord. And whatever touches these things will also become holy.
Pour the oil on Aaron and his sons to dedicate them to serve me as priests. Tell the Israelites that the anointing oil is holy. It must always be used only for me. This oil is holy, and you must treat it as something holy. Don't make oil with this same formula to be used for any other purpose. Don't let people use this oil for their bodies. Whoever makes an oil like this and puts it on anyone except a priest must be separated from the people.
The incense. Then the Lord said to Moses,
Get these sweet-smelling spices, resin, onycha, galbanum, and pure frankincense. Be sure that you have equal amounts of these spices. Mix the spices together to make a sweet-smelling incense. Do this the same as a perfume maker would do it. Also, mix salt with this incense. This will make it pure and special. Grind some of the incense until it becomes a fine powder. Put the powder in front of the holy box that holds the agreement in the meeting tent. This is the place where I meet with you. You must use this incense as something very holy.
Never make incense like this to use for yourselves. It is holy, and you must use it only for the Lord. There may be people who want to make some of this incense for themselves so that they can enjoy the smell, but whoever does this must be separated from the people. Mark chapter 6, verses 7 through 29. Then Jesus called his 12 apostles together. He sent them out in groups of 2 and gave them power over evil spirits. This is what he told them. Take nothing for your trip except a stick for walking. Take no food, no bag, and no money. You can wear sandals, but don't take extra clothes. When you enter a house, stay there until you leave that town. If people anywhere refuse to welcome you or to listen to you, then leave that place and shake the dust off your feet as a warning to them. The apostles left and went to other places. They talked to the people and told them to change their hearts and lives. They forced many demons out of people and put olive oil on many who were sick and healed them. King Herod heard about Jesus because Jesus was now famous. Some people said,
"He is John the Baptizer. He must have risen from death, and that is why he can do these miracles."
Other people said,
He is Elijah.
and others said,
He is a prophet. He is like the prophets who lived long ago.
When Herod heard these things about Jesus, he said,
I killed John by cutting off his head. Now he has been raised from death.
how John the Baptizer was killed. Herod himself had ordered his soldiers to arrest John and put him in prison. Herod did this to please his wife Herodias. She had been married to Herod's brother Philip, but then Herod married her. John told Herod, "It is not right for you to be married to your brother's wife." So Herodias hated John. She wanted him dead, but she was not able to persuade Herod to kill him. Herod was afraid to kill John because he knew that he was a good and holy man. So he protected him. He liked listening to John, although what John said left him with so many questions. Then the right time came for Herodias to cause John's death. It happened on Herod's birthday. Herod gave a party for the most important government leaders, the commanders of his army, and the most important people in Galilee. The daughter of Herodias came to the party and danced. And when she danced, Herod and the people eating with him were very pleased. So King Herod said to the girl,
I will give you anything you want.
he promised her.
Anything you ask for, I will give to you, even half my kingdom.
The girl went to her mother and asked.
What should I ask King Herod to give me?
Her mother answered.
Ask for the head of John the Baptizer.
So right then the girl went back in to the king. She said to him,
Please give me the head of John the Baptizer. Bring it to me now on a plate.
King Herod was very sad, but he didn't want to break the promise he had made to her in front of his guests. So he sent a soldier to cut off John's head and bring it to him. The soldier went and cut off John's head in the prison. He brought the head back on a plate and gave it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mother. When John's followers heard about what had happened, they came and got John's body and put it in a tomb. Proverbs chapter 5, verses 15 to 23.
Now, about sex and marriage. Drink only the water that comes from your own well, and don't let your water flow out into the streets. Keep it for yourself, and don't share it with strangers. Be happy with your own wife. Enjoy the woman you married while you were young. She is like a beautiful deer, a lovely doe. Let her love satisfy you completely. Stay drunk on her love, and don't go stumbling into the arms of another woman. The Lord clearly sees everything you do. He watches where you go. The sins of the wicked will trap them. Those sins will be like ropes holding them back. Evil people will die because they have no self-control. Their stupidity leads them down a path to ruin.
Thank you, everyone. That was day 52. Join us for day 53. We're introduced to two new people in the Bible, Bezalel and Aholiab. And these guys have been given the Spirit of God to do all kinds of cool stuff. It's like God has hired Iron Man to finish out the details of the temple. And in the book of Mark, Jesus is the ultimate catering business and feeds more than 5,000 people. And then we hear about one of the most amazing miracles Jesus ever did. In fact, it's the one miracle most people remember, and it's the thing that no one in all of history has ever done after him. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.